Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Bahashor Hahakodash. I want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the Elect. I was a high spirit wind lawyer, and today I want to go into a topic. Entitled "A Peace of Mind is the Gift." All right, a peace of mind is the gift, man. All right, a lot of things have been promoted to us in this fake kingdom, and a lot of people in this kingdom, they chase those things that's been promoted to them, all right, since there was a child. So when you become a certain age, you chase things that's, part of social constructs, part of society's expectation. You become a slave to people's opinion of you. You become a slave to validation. All right. When I was younger, I worked this job, and the first thing people would ask me is, "Am I married? Do I have kids? When do I plan to get married? Don't wait forever to have kids." But me being in the truth, I knew like marriage wasn't the way. Marriage by society's expectation. I didn't know much in regards to marriage or women or whatever, but I knew that much. All right, like don't go that route. And but I'm saying all that to say that preserved me, man. All right, even certain women that you've been in relationships with and you spiritually were married, all right, you didn't have to go through the state. Now, if a brother came in married, that's him, man. I mean, technically, you got to go through the state to get, you got to make a covenant with the heathen anyway, but, marriage is a bad deal, man. But I'm saying all that to say, what I've learned in Babylon is that your peace of mind, that's the gift, that's the treasure. Marriage, you married to your solitude, man. All right. Now some brothers already have wives. It is what it is. Like Scripture says, every man has his gift. Because Paul was a solo man. All right. But what I'm saying all that to say, your freedom, that's a gift to you from Yahweh Bashma Shai. Your peace of mind, that's the gift. A society wants you to think that the woman is a gift, man. Or getting married is the treasure, But sometimes because you have burns, you have desires that you feel deprived unless you have a woman. You feel deprived unless you have certain things, man. Some brothers in this truth, they want nicer cars or they want a bigger house. And honestly, you can only get what Yahweh B'Hashemel Shai grants you, man. Okay? Marriage is the gift. Marriage to Yahweh B'Hashemel Shai. Let me rephrase that. But something I've learned, being in routine, being with the woman and being without a woman. Once you get your workout regimen, you get your pattern of working out and eating clean, the Most High, He elevates your spirit. And He raises your vibration. And you're in a state of bliss. And your awareness is heightened. All right? But when those things happen to you, all right? When those things happen to you, you realize that you might be content. Okay? See, in Babylon, they tell you to find a job, find a wife, and find a career, all this other stuff, but they never tell you to work on yourself, man. Or they never tell you that it's important, all right, to get you a workout routine, man. They never tell you how important it is to eat clean, all right, to the best of your ability. The Most High, He'll give you a woman. He never tells you how everything is an expense. Okay? Everything is an expense, man. All right? Certain things is going to cost you, maybe not money, but it's going to cost you your peace of mind. It's going to cost you free time. It's going to cost you the things you could have done with your free time. Certain things is going to cost you your own self-development. It's going to hinder your self-development. You know? It's going to hinder that. You know? Well, who said that you have to deal with, say, women based off Babylon's standard? All right? You can deal with it based off your own standard. All right? But aside from this truth, the truth comes first. Your first wife is this truth, man. But even if you're in this truth and you're a young man, all right, despite your own bodily needs, you're going to find out that your real gift, aside from this truth, is freedom. And your spirit is different once you're solo, man. The real gift is peace. See, this is something that they don't promote to a man. They only promote a woman's happiness, but they don't promote a man's happiness. A man's happiness is peace. A man gets his happiness from peace. So if you have little ones, your little ones might make you happy, you know. But the real treasure is peace, man. Or you can always deal with things on your own terms. And that's another thing that Babylon doesn't tell you. Because if you didn't go through the system, for a lot of people, it's not respected. All right. But even though it might not be respected, all right, what a lot of people appear to have, it's really pretentious. Because behind closed doors, it might be a different ball game, man. All right. And some people feel empty because they don't make enough money. Not because they don't make enough money to sustain themselves. They don't make enough money to impress people. They don't make enough money to buy things to put them in a certain bracket. All right? But, hey, man, if you're healthy, that's the blessing. You know? If you can enjoy the sun and the waters, the, you know, lakes and ponds, that's the happiness, man. All right? But furthermore, if you're in this truth, that's the main source of happiness. But a body, I have to look up the statistics myself, but some of the highest paying jobs have the highest suicide rate, man. Some of the highest paid jobs have some of the highest suicide rates, man. Godliness with contentment is great gain. So when you come into this truth, you really shift your goals, because now your goal is the kingdom. And if your goal is the kingdom, you really don't have a high expectation towards this society, because making it in this society is no longer your goal. You know? But granted, if the Most High give you a decent source of income, you know, as long as it doesn't jeopardize your morals and your integrity, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. You know? But godliness with contentment is great game, man. But once you evolve in this truth and your soul elevates, your soul matures, you realize that you have peace and happiness are in the little things, man. You know? That's the gift. The little things are the gift. All right? But don't feel bad because you might not have certain things, man. What you could have is peace. Or you can turn your situation to peace, man. You know, you live within your means. All right? Shalom, shalom. You live within your means. All right, you get you a workout regimen. You might do nature walks. And those things elevate your happiness, man. It enhances your happiness. All right? You know? But that's important, man, to have a high vibration in this society. To have vitality in this society. You can't control if you're going to be rich or not. All right? Scripture says the meek shall inherit the earth. But you can't control your vitality level, man. Because you're going to realize having vitality being rich in energy is also a thing, man. Having a high vibration is a thing, man. You know, the people who live to be 100 years old, they're statistically poor. By this first world standards, they're poor. The people that live in these blue zones, they basically live off the land, man. But a lot of them are happy. They got this documentary called Happy People, and it takes place in a town outside of a town, I want to say in Russia or outside of Russia, but they're off the grid. But they have simple lives, man. But the name of the documentary is called Happy People, man. But just being in this kingdom, you find out that there's a lot of power in solitude, man. You're basically handicapped in solitude, man. And there's a lot of peace, all right, that comes with that solitude. There's a lot of freedom that comes with that solitude. Things that might be compromised if you try to fit the status quo of living, man. All right? There's a peace of mind that comes with living that minimalistic lifestyle, man, that simple lifestyle. You know? We'll have all the goodies in the kingdom. You know? We'll have the best of the best in the kingdom of heaven. All right, when the world is made for us, you know? So right now we just deal with the basics until we get the kingdom, man. You know? Like I said, man, you know, doing nature walks or exercising, eating clean, controlling your energy, controlling where you put your energy, understanding that energy is a currency, you know, being rich in a high vibration. And I just want to say, of course, you have to be rich in faith. You pray to be rich in faith. But in this kingdom, the things that you can obtain in this kingdom, man, is really being able to feel good most days out the week, man. You're going to have bad days regardless, but most days out the week you feel good, man. You know? But that's pretty much the point. You know, I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. You know, peace is the prize. You know, solitude is the prize. Freedom is the prize, man. All right? With that, hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Hey, to the next time, shalom.